Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen the first movie role of our first guest today. Now, over the past 40 years or so, this gentleman has gone on to become an award-winning, well-known actor, director, producer, writer, humanitarian, and a whole lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Duke. Greetings, Bill.
God bless you, my brother. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. And welcome back again, because you've been on us, this is your third time now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, where are you from originally?
A place you never heard of called Poughkeepsie, New York.
All right now. Poughkeepsie. Yes. I'm from Harlem, and we used to go to Poughkeepsie for doing road races and things like that. Wonderful city. Bill, as you began your career as an actor in New York City theaters, performing in plays, take us back to those days.
Well, the great Melvin Van Peebles getting my first break. And, I started out on the stage, and on the stage, I just was afraid of cameras and stuff, but I got over that fear and went to AFI.
Good. We talk about that when we do this show. That's a bone that I pick, where a lot of people come out here in Hollywood, they'll do film, they'll do TV, but they won't do stage.
Stage is where you learn the most, man. You're in front of an audience. You only get one shot. There's no take two.
We just saw a clip, sir, of the 1976 cult classic film Car Wash. I mean, what a cast for you for your first movie role. Richard Pryor, the Pointer Sisters, Ivan Dixon, and many, many more. Tell us about your role in this film, sir.
Well, Abdullah was a rebel, and it was kind of who I was at the time, coming up in the 60s. And, we were fighting against the system, as we call it. And Ivan Dixon was one of the best human beings and one of the greatest actors I ever worked with. So it was a great message of the movie, and the great Michael Schultz directed it.
Okay. How much of Bill Duke was in that character?
I would say 200%.
Weird. What was it like at the time as being the director of the 1984 film The Killing Floor, as well as the historical story behind that film?
Historical story was the unionization of the meatpackers union, and great Moses Gunn and other great people were in it, and it was about the division of the times, but bringing black and white workers together to really stand up against what they called the system and the Packers Union. And that's why I love the movie, because it was bringing people together for one great cause.
Wow. Bill, one of my favorite films that you did was called The Predator. You played Mac, also known as Sergeant Mac Elliott, and you and the alien played a cat and mouse game. Roll it, Tony. Wow. What were those words that you said at that time?
What was that? Forget.
I can see you.
I can see you.
Yeah, that's right.
But the problem was.
Yes, indeed.
The problem was he could see me too.
Yes. Who was that handsome young man that was working that scene with you?
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
The great Carl Weathers. Great actor, great director, producer, writer.
Yes. Yes. How was it like working with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then there was Claude Van Damme, who played the original Predator, but was fired?
Yes, that was amazing. Well, working with Arnold was a great privilege. People see him as this big, strong guy. He's one of the most humble people I've ever met. He's funny, great sense of humor, and always gave 1,000%. He set the example and standard for the team. So, and the other actors, we were in the jungle, man. I'll give you a small story. The first week we were there, the caterer put a netting around the tent for eating. But every time we ate food, there were bugs in it. And the first 2 days, he said, take this crap back. We're not eating it. And he said, listen, I'm not putting the bugs in the food. We're in the middle of the jungle. What do you want me to do? By the third day, it was called protein.
That's what it was, protein. It's all in your head. Don't think about what it is. You just eat it.
If you're hungry.
All right. Sir, you directed the 1991 crime drama called A Rage in Harlem, another one of my favorite Bill Duke films. At the Cannes Film Festival, you were nominated for a Palme d'Or for directing that film. Comment, sir.
I loved going there. It was fun. Robin Givens and Forrest Whitaker and the great actors that were in it and did it. I just, it's like when you're working with great actors as a director, you don't really work, You give them, say, hey, this is what we think, and they go out and they just take off.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
Wow. At that time, there was talk about your testament as an actor during a 5-minute scene that you did also in 1993 called Menace to Society. I understand there was the only scene that you were in, plus not being on the movie poster. What happened there?
Well, I wasn't starring in the film, and it was one scene, but believe it or not, out of all the movies I've acted, and I've traveled around the world, okay?
Okay.
That one line is what everybody says to me. You don't have to, right? I was in China. And these young kids were walking down the street, and I was walking down the street. He said, "Oh, you Bill Duke, huh?" I said, "Yes, sir." "No, you don't puck up, right?" They said puck.
Well, now whenever you walk the street, what people will ask you. You do know that.
That's exactly right, sir.
In 1993, you did Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, after Disney admired your film and the opportunity for you to work with the great Whoopi Goldberg.
That was, working with Whoopi was instructive. She came with so much. She's one of those actresses that gives you more than you could possibly ever ask for. And it's just about editing her greatness. She's in a kind heart, good spirit, collaborator. She was the best.
Okay. You were the executive producer, director in the 1997 Hoodlum. How was it like working with two marvelous, renowned actors, Cicely Tyson and Lawrence Fishburne?
Oh, God. How can words express my favorite scene one of my favorite scenes in the film was that they were going to an opera and they were attacked by these bad guys, and her security guard was killed. And the next scene is when they're sitting in her living room, he's holding her hand and she's crying, and they're playing opera.
Right.
It's like the chemistry between them is wonderful. And Cicely Tyson. Wow. I mean, words cannot express. So I didn't bow, but I always said yes, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Doesn't have to say yes, ma'am. I was in the military. I'm used to that. Yes, ma'am. Don't bother me.
That's right. It's like she was directing me. You know what I mean? She was the best. And Lawrence is, can I say, he's one of the best out there.
Yes. What you say? He had that run Blackish. He did that did a lot for him. Kept him out there. He was working.
Yes.
Good thing. Well, you've been a recipient of many honors, sir, including a Lifetime Achievement Tribute, which the Directors Guild of America presented to you in 2010. What's your thoughts about that occasion?
Oh, man. So many people and friends showed up that I had no idea liked my work, and it was a blessing.
Okay.
It was a blessing, and to be recognized by the DGA, it was something that I really, really, really was humbled by and appreciate until this day.
Interesting. Okay. In 2011, you directed a documentary film called Dark Girls. Tell us about the film, which was nominated for the NAACP Image Award. I understand the film aired on OWN.
Yes.
Also went on to become one of the most successful documentaries.
It was based on my sister's life. Unfortunately died recently. But it was this what she and I went through as children because we were dark complected.
Yes.
And how we were treated because of the complexion of our skin. And we were judged based upon that, not who we were, but how we looked according to certain. And the horrible thing is, it wasn't just white folks, it was people within our own race.
Yes.
Because in those days, if you were light skinned, what they call good hair,
yes,
you were beautiful.
Yes.
If you were dark and you had my kind of hair, it's called naps.
Naps.
Remember naps?
Yes, I remember naps. Look at me now. That's my naps up there.
That's your naps up.
Bill, you crazy. Crazy. Sir, you recently starred last year in an American period crime thriller film called No Sudden Move. What was that like?
Oh man, it was a great experience.
Okay.
I think it was Steven Soderbergh who directed it, and it was one of those films where I played the head of the gangster mob.
Okay.
In Chicago, and it was working with wonderful actors, great director, great script, and it was fun.
Okay.
It was fun.
All right. Let's see. The year was about 2019. You became a member of an organization called the History Makers. Remember those guys? Yes.
It's, how can I say, a great organization. It's always great people give you recognition.
Yes.
It's not about ego. It's about, how can I say, recognizing your contributions.
Okay.
And letting people know about, that's always something positive. Does that make any sense?
Yes. We got moments, just a few more moments, but before we leave, we gotta say this to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman will have a birthday on February 25th.
26th.
26th, excuse me. Okay. And also a book launch. Tell us about that, sir.
I have several books that are coming out.
Okay.
One is Bill Duke's 40 Years Behind the Screen and on camera, and it's about my history. We have nuggets in there that I think can help young people that are coming into the industry now. Another is called The Journey. It's an animated book. It talks about the journey of life itself. And then I have a poetry book, Works of the Invisible Man. It's my poetry book. So we're launching all three. And most importantly, my network called Unite. It's all about the positive news that's going on around the world, because you hear the news now, it's negative. This is about positive news, and it's coming out in April, my network.
Bill, the grass does not grow under your feet.
Hey, man, I don't know how many days I got left, but I'm going to keep hopping.
Bill Duke, thank you so very much for stopping by today. Happy birthday on February 25th. Continued success in your many, many endeavors.
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
As usual. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bill Duke. This is the Actors' Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to let you know that we are asking our Actors' Choice squad, that's you, to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt passed away January 20th, 1997, and he was the husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress Joddi Bass. All you got to do is call us at the office, 213-349-3941. Ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay, thank you. Roller Tony.
Let's do this! Once upon a time, in a land not far away, there once lived a little worm named Mitch, embedded deep in the bowels of a corrupt narcissist who dared to call himself a king. The little worm lived comfortably and grew fat from all the fast food stuffed down the gullet of the bloated despot. When the tyrant would fall asleep, either on his daily tanning bed or at night in his...
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is an actor and a performance artist, most recently seen in the Odyssey Theater in Blacktop Highway, a gothic horror screen played on one man's body. And this gentleman is known for creating larger experimental piece in performance spaces and museums. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Fleck. Greetings, John, and welcome to the Actor's Choice.
Oh, John Fleck. Oh, man, he's terrific. Look at you. What a wonderful voice you have.
It's a blessing from God. I call it a blessing from God.
Indeed.
Thank you.
You know, I got to say, doing my show, it really, because I use it so much, my voice gets very low, and I consider it a blessing from God as well. I'll tell you.
Yes. Before we begin, I would like to ask you two questions.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Question number one: where are you from?
Oh, I can't remember, Ron. Oh, where am I from? I'm primarily from Cleveland, Ohio. My dad, he liked to wander a lot. So I went to 12 different schools before I graduated high school, but predominantly Northern Ohio. We lived Southern Ohio. We moved to California for 6 months. We lived in Florida for about 8 months. So we were gypsies, tramps, and thieves, always on the go.
Okay. Question number two: how many IMDb actor credits do you have, sir?
Well, I think you refreshed me in our conversation before. I think, is it 139?
139.
Yee, I win, bingo.
You know, when I read your bio, I got to let you know, I said to myself, 139 actor credits. Oh, okay. Well, that means at least 139 auditions.
Well, yeah, like maybe more like 100,000, 1,200 auditions.
Yes.
139 out of them, right? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm grateful. I am so grateful every time I get my pension check, and and my residual checks. I am ever so thankful.
Indeed. Now, the question is, how old were you when the acting bug first bit you?
Well, Ron, I was a very shy kid. I tried to take an acting class when I was in college. Oh, but I was just so terrified. And anyways, I went to Europe by myself in the early 70s. My draft number in 1972 was 29. I thought, oh boy. So I went to Europe, and I'd never been out of Cleveland. I flew by myself. I remember to England. I spent almost 5 months. You could travel, on the Eurail Pass and live on $5 a day in Europe. Anyways, they never called my number. I don't know what. I guess I would have been a draft evader, but anyways, I really. It changed my life, and God, I don't even remember. Oh, when did the acting bug? So I came back to LA, and I had a girlfriend at the time who was doing in a chorus of Sweet Charity, and she said, "You want to be in the chorus?" And I did, and it was kind of fun to kick your legs up high and dance, and and go to the bar afterwards and have drinks. And there was a woman, Lynn Bennett, I remember her name very well, in Lakewood, Ohio, and she said, "Well, I'm going out to Los Angeles to audition for the American Academy of Dramatic Arts." It was their first year in moving from the East Coast to the West Coast. She said, why don't you come out and do it? And I never really auditioned for anything, so I prepared some monologue, and they must have been desperate. They took me, but I was there for 2 years, and I learned basic meat and potatoes, and I guess it stuck because I kept doing it, and I kept studying and studying. Tap tap classes and vocal classes and improv classes and this acting workshop. And then I got into, the more experimental Rachel Rosenthal workshops. And, so I always tell young people, study, 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 practice, 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 all these, so many young kids, well, I just want to be a TV star. That's all, but I mean, if you're a real true actor, you don't know what's going to stick, so to speak. So just try it all, so.
Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
The beautiful thing about knowing you in the short time that I've met you, you are stage, you are television, you are all of it. You do it all.
Well, I guess I'm an old timer. I guess yeah. It's funny. I read something in the paper today. There's a new term called dino babies.
Okay.
I guess I'm a dino baby. But yeah, of course, there's many people who do it all. And, the more you do, the more options you have.
Right.
I always feel sorry for my actor friends who are just, doing self-tapes. And that's the only way they know how to express themselves,
Mm-hmm.
At least I get to write and create and act and
Yes.
sing and dance and, in my own work, too. I'm
Yes.
not always just waiting for a self-tape to come along.
Got you. Now, the thing that and you know what I'm talking about, doing work is that's what actors are all about, working.
Right. Well, it's got keeping your chops,
Yes.
You get rusty if you're not working. I always take an acting workshop. I've been taking an acting workshop with this woman for almost 20 years, and it's all Zoom now, but just to keep doing it. And, and then I hear somebody else, on the Screen Actors Guild website, there's this guy, Greg Sims. I go, oh, wow, he's got an interesting approach. So, hey, even us old dino babies can still learn new tricks,
Old dino baby, we love you like you are, and you're doing a great, great job. Who are some of your favorite actors?
Oh, geez. Well, it's one of my password security questions. Who's your favorite actor? I put Meryl Streep. I think she's a goddess. God, I've been thinking of I just watched Goodfellas again. God, what a fabulous movie. De Niro. God, so many great actors. Of course, now my brain is dead, but those are two of them.
You know these people. You worked with them.
Well, I haven't worked with De Niro, but I have worked with Michael Douglas. In fact, for some reason, we were just channel surfing a couple of weeks ago, and Falling Down came on, and I had just a fabulous scene with Michael Douglas. And I just remember how generous and kind he was and fun to work with. So, yeah. They're not all a-holes. There's a lot of great
Gotcha.
film stars out there.
In 1990,
yes,
you and 3 other performance artists became known as NEA 4. Want to take a brief shot at that?
I love it. The NEA 4. The NEA 4, it stood for the National Endowment for the Arts. And I back in '89, I was a punk rocker, and I come from the performance club scene.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst the acting thing as well. So, and I always was provocative, and I did a show called Blessed Are Little Fishes. And anyways, a friend said that I should apply for, a $5,000 National Endowment for the Arts grant to, support the production, which I did, and I ended up getting it. Surprise, surprise. But that year, Jesse Helms, Senator Jesse Helms, and a few other, Dana Rohrabacher, congressmen, objected to these 4 grants being funded because our work was controversial, it was sexual, and 3 of us were gay, so and we were dealing with sexual themes. So we were awarded our grants, but then big like that, they had rescinded them, so it created a big backlash, and I will forever be a footnote in art history books, one of the NEA 4. But we did go to the Supreme Court. Our case went to the Supreme Court, and we won the first round. That when giving grants, you cannot. What is morality? What are moral? I think Harry Truman said one man's philosophy is another man's profanity. So that was our goal, and we won. And then it went back to the Supreme Court again. And anyways, they finally, the National Endowment for the Arts eliminated our genre, which was called new media, completely. So a lot of artists got pissed at us for why'd you ruin it for the rest of us? But it had to happen sooner or later. We were just.
I could talk with you all day long. You got a
Oh,
great
be
attitude.
careful what you wish for, Ron.
I can do
It'll
it.
be hell for you. So.
All I can say is 2 words. Help, see some help. I'm coming, Beanie Boy. Remember that?
No, what's that?
Oh, that was a cartoon years ago.
Oh, well, you're much younger than me. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm only 57,
Oh, you're only 50. Oh, my God, you'll be my child.
Okay. John Fleck.
Yes.
Okay, you're doing a play right now called It's Alive, It's Alive. From what I see, the Odyssey Theater is a favorite theater for you, right?
Well, favorite for me, the Odyssey Theater has been very supportive of me and encouraging me to do this work. We, David Schweitzer and I, my co-creator here, we did a workshop in September, just 5 months ago, and Beth Hogan, she liked it so much, she said, let's bring it back for a full run. So we've been working our little butts off, getting the kinks out of it, and whatever kinks do work, making it kinkier. But we're fine tuning it, and it's quite a living entity. It's alive. It's alive.
We got a video of you and the appreciation that you have for Odyssey Theater.
Oh,
Tony, would you run that, please?
Here's my call of action. Please come to the Odyssey Theater to see John Fleck. It's alive. It's alive. Directed and developed with David Schweitzer, running for 5 weekends, opening Saturday, February 19th. It runs Saturday at 8 o'clock, Sundays at 5 o'clock for 10 shows. And all I can say is, a dream is a wish your heart makes. And hey, come see the show, and I think you're.
Okay, beautiful.
I didn't hear a word of it.
I know that. That's why he put the word up there. When we send you a copy of the tape, you'll hear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you have had a lot of fun. Tell us about It's Alive, It's Alive, please.
Well, we started working on this in May of 2020. David Schweitzer pitched it to Beth Hogan that we create a special cabaret theatrical event. It was, just 3 months into the pandemic where everything was shut down. And we would stage it in the parking lot of the Odyssey Theater since we couldn't be indoors. Everybody would be separated, 10 feet apart. And anyways, we were going to do it August of 2020. And then we had to postpone it because nothing was allowed. And then tick 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 tick, and the baby's incubating, and tick tick tick. So and I created this kind of not opera, but it's operatic in its own way. The story of a COVID molecule who's actually like a superhero, like an emissary of love, and we totally misunderstand their intentions, that they're here to save humanity. And then I play on the other spectrum, like this kind of right-wing conspiratorial, man, but anyways, and then I play me in the middle, trying to figure it all out, just as a regular human, me, myself. So anyways, hey, baby is going to be born on next Saturday on February 19th, and let's hope baby has legs with which to run on.
We got a couple of still photos of you. Here's one of them. There you go. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, well, there I am in my little molecule helmet. Yes, who would have thunk of that? But
there's another one.
Oh boy, only a mother could love that creature. Look at it.
Folks, this gentleman is humble. He ain't telling you he wrote, produced, and directed this story. He didn't tell you that, did he?
Well, yeah, I wrote, produced, and boy, I was up till like 4:30 in the morning. Right? I'm still writing this thing. Why do my best ideas have to come, like 3:30 in the morning? Like I'll be laying in bed. I'm like a fisherman. Oh, I got one. I gotta get up and I gotta write it down. So I'll be so glad when we're just up and running and I can just sleep full 7 hours if I can.
So when is it open? When does it start?
Oh, it opens this Saturday, February 19th. It runs 5 weekends, Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m., Sundays at 5 p.m., February 19th through March 20th. It'd be great to get an audience there, and you won't be disappointed.
Okay, because a lot of folks have never been to the Odyssey Theater. It's a marvelous place.
Oh, it's an incredible place. It's it's big. There's 3 theaters, and I think we're in the nicest theater, which is great. And it's got a great lobby and a bar. Well, bars are always good.
Right.
Get them liquored up, they always have a better time. And a lovely outdoor area. So hey, it's a win-win. And hey, I always say for the price of a martini at Musso and Frank's, you can get in to see. It's alive. It's alive. And I always bring a bottle of wine with me for after the show, so I'll pour you a drink, okay?
And of course, all pandemic control is going to be in
of
effect.
Course. Yeah. We have a demarcation, a line. You have to be so far, and I think people still have to show proof of vaccination to get in and wear a mask inside. But we work with it, and I've used that whole kind of mask thing within the show, and a lot of I think a very current commentary going on, and.
And Fleck, we thank you very, very much for being here with us today. Good luck on this project. What do you say? Break a leg. And my best to your publicist, Lucy Pollock.
Lucy Pollock. Lucia. We love her.
She's from Queens, by the way.
Queens. Yes. Lucia.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Fleck. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Take care.
Thank you, Ron. It was a pleasure.
This is the Actors Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
Johnny on the track. You already know who it is, TMG. Been out here doing this here many moons now. Let's go there. I had to get it on my own since I was 13. Had a few red streams. Blessings. Had to dig deep. Had to find a warrior within me. Yeah. The bottom where I come from, so I know what the struggle like. Obstacles I've overcome.
Mr. Sten Joddi, you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing? Blessings.
I think we lost Ron, but we're going to go ahead and just keep the party going. If you don't mind introducing yourself until we get Ron back, that would be awesome.
Kent's Jazz, Stone Ghost, Sten Joddi, Jaha Jeff Kudos, Muskogee Nation of Oklahoma, Coxsoggy Clan of Arbika Stomp Grounds. And what I said is, hello, how are you doing? Sten Joddi is what they call me. I'm Muskogee Creek Nation of Oklahoma, and that's where my people are from.
I think we got a map up there showing exactly where it's at.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I grew up in Glenpool, and that's like South Tulsa, on the edge of South Tulsa. And yeah, that's me, man. I now reside in North Iowa, Mason City.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, man, I'm just honored to be here, be on the show. I appreciate it.
And I know exactly where it's at. I'm originally from Kansas, and I'm only an hour away from Tulsa, so I know where that's at.
Okay. Yeah.
So, excuse me. So you're a hip hop artist, is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I do. You know, I've been rapping and tattooing since I was probably about 13.
Oh my gosh! Well, I definitely can see the tattoos, and I'm an admirer. I think I'm a little scared to do it myself, but.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's something. It's a lifestyle. It's not, you know. I know there's a lot of people out there that start off like that, but you know, this is definitely a lifestyle. It's been a part of my life ever since forever, it feels like. So, yeah.
Well, so tell us, I know this is one of Ron's questions. First he asked where you're from, which we got that, but how did you get started in wanting to be in the entertainment? Because, music, acting, and all that stuff, that's, being in Oklahoma, I know being from Kansas, that's definitely something that people always go, how do you go from Oklahoma to becoming in entertainment?
Well, I mean, growing up, man, hip hop was always a part of my life from a very early age, and TV and movies, music videos. I mean, I'm a '90s kid. I'm an '80s baby, so I mean, I grew up in the era where we sat in front of the TV and we watched cartoons and music videos and played video games, and it was just a part of my life, man. And so when I got of age, I just started kind of writing my own music. Around the same time, I started tattooing on myself, and they just kind of became a thing, That's what this is, Tattoo Music Group. So that's kind of my little brand, and that's kind of my way of life. And it just turned into that, creating TikTok videos, lip syncing old funny movies that I used to watch, and like even some new stuff, and comedians out there. TikTok was fun, man, during the pandemic. So
it made a lot of people famous. The pandemic.
And I salute it, because I mean, even though I'm 39, man, my daughter, she wanted me to get one, and I just decided to go ahead and jump on there and do some funny stuff, as well as educational stuff, indigenous education and history and stuff like that, and activism. And we just, and it just kind of blew up from there. And that's really where, the entertainment and TV started to kind of come into play. So,
yeah, I actually find, the internet, when it comes to Instagram and Facebook and, all these other platforms now that have made, not necessarily just made people famous, but has given people voices that normally would not. And I definitely appreciate that. And so tell us, what was one of your first projects that you got involved in?
Well, the very first thing that I've ever done, I mean, as far as any acting goes, is Reservation Dogs. That's my first jump in, leap into the acting game. And all thanks and praise go to Taika Waititi and Sterling Harjo and the whole FX team and the whole situation, Mid Thunder casting.
Think we have Ron back on. So Ron, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Oh, we had a power failure here in my studio. Everything was wiped out.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Tony said he asked you a couple of questions. I got a few for you. The one thing that happened is you grew up in Oklahoma, right?
Yes, sir.
What was it like growing up there?
Man, it's definitely, it was a little rough, coming from a situation where, I had a rough childhood, family and whatnot, but that's what made me better. And it was a very diverse community. I mean, we grew up with Native kids and the Black community and my Mexican homies, and what I'm saying, my crazy white boys, and it was very diverse. But like I said, growing up in the '90s, I mean, we weren't I wouldn't say we were very middle class, but maybe a little under that. We didn't want for much, but we still, we got what we needed, and we got by, man. Moms, rest in peace, my mom's, man. She did, a great job being a mother and raising two kids, on her own. So, you know what I mean?
Okay. You're an enrolled member of the Muskogee Creek Nation tribe of Oklahoma. For the benefit of our viewers, can you please explain what that means?
It is one of the one of the tribes of Oklahoma. We have several. They walked on the Trail of Tears, and that's where my people come from. That's who I am as a human, is a Muskogee Creek Nation man, and definitely we go through a lot of these things where right now we're going through a lot of stuff in Oklahoma with reservation boundaries, and the Supreme Court ruling awarded us and pretty much recognized the original boundaries. So there's a lot of things going on down there with the brothers and sisters that are fighting that situation. So, shout out to them.
Yes. What made you, after all you've been through, what made you decide to get into acting?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of answering right before you popped on here. It was a random thing, man. Like I said, internet came into play, TikTok, YouTube, and of course my music and doing videos over the years. And, being bored during the pandemic, I got on TikTok and just started lip syncing old movies and comedians and stuff like that, and just having fun, man. And eventually I believe, my hip hop and the internet kind of made their way to somebody's desk. Shout out Mid Thunder Casting. It made it to somebody's computer and somebody's email, and I was there. So they gave me a call and, wanted me to audition for this part in this show. And it's just been an honor since, man. It's been a real cool trip, and it's awesome. So.
Okay. So far, how you like doing it? How you like it? Because, a lot of people get bitten by that bug and they want to stay with it for the rest of their lives. They truly love acting.
Like I said, this is the first time that I've ever did anything like this, but at the same time, it was fun. It was exciting. It was nerve-wracking. It was crazy all at the same time. And I think the organized chaos that is acting that I got to see firsthand, and for it to be the first time I ever acted at this level of production, with FX and Reservation Dogs and the whole team. And it was just really cool, man. It was really dope. And, I think I could see myself doing it a few more times if anyone is out there asking for, somebody that's tattooed up and and likes to get it in, man. So I mean, I'm definitely up there with, continuing to work that wave, man.
Yeah.
So.
Right. We have a picture of you when you gained your acting now on the Reservation Dogs debut. This happened last year, where you now play rapper Pumpkin Lusty.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was awesome. It was awesome to play that part of the father of Bear, one of the 4 teens in the show. It's about 4 teens coming up of age, getting into a little bit of trouble. There's comedy and there's sadness and there's beauty and there's craziness, and and I was just glad to be a part of that. It was awesome to kind of bring that character that a lot of us can relate to him, and a lot of us can relate to Bear as the kid, that his dad just kind of makes those empty promises, and
yes,
isn't really there for him 100%. And that's kind of where I grew up, in that situation where, my father took off, when I was like 13, and as of late, I love my dad, and we have refixed these things, and we're growing again. But at the time, man, it really hit you. So definitely something that I brought to the table that was just a part of my life to the character, and it was awesome to play. It was an honor that Sterling and all the casting, they were 100% behind me, and even when I was doubting myself, Sterling pulled me to the side and said, "Man, you can do this, man. Don't get in your head too much." You know, that what's on the
Right.
screen is what happened, man.
Tell us, we got just a few more minutes left. Can you please tell us about hip hop in Oklahoma?
Man, I mean, it's definitely a big and huge thing when I was growing up. I can't imagine what it's like now. There's a huge Black community there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the surrounding areas, Okmulgee. We have a lot of Black indigenous people in them communities. My family, my friends, definitely hip hop was just ingrained. I mean, I grew up wanting the gold teeth, man, and I grew up, you know, because we didn't really have indigenous representation, you know, like we are in today's media, you know, and that's where we kind of became this situation where we're giving that to the kids and the youth now.
Right.
And you know, I didn't have that. So what was the closest thing that I could relate to was the hip hop stories.
Wow.
The lyrics, the stories of the struggle, not necessarily any of the super drug stuff or anything, but just those struggling songs, you know, where, you know, I seen myself in that situation, and that's what I was going through as a youngster. So man, it was a huge thing for me.
Stan, did you see the Super Bowl game last night?
Yes, I did, man. Shout out to the Rams. Congratulations. You know, I'm not privy to one team in particular, but you know, it's good to see either one of those teams you know, get to where they got to. And the Rams, man, hats off to them. They did their thing, man, and they brought the win, you know. And that halftime show was amazing.
Yes.
You know, you got a lot of youngsters out here that are like, oh, well, there was some old people up there doing old things. I said, but you got to understand, you know, how long it took, you know, for hip hop to make it to that stature and them to be on that Super Bowl platform, and
Yes.
not just a side entertainment part of it, but the full thing was hip hop. That's what it was. And for somebody, I'm 39 and I grew up during hip hop, and every one of those guys are like legends on the screen. And I was just amazed, and I'm still kind of amazed. And, you know, it was very exciting to see that happen for hip hop, the culture, the Black community, the indigenous community, the Mexican, man. It was just, you know, it's just across the board, man, it's just awesome to see. I'm sorry, man. I get
That's
caught
okay. Hey, just feel the spirit. Nothing wrong with that. Hey,
Yeah.
A good show. It's a good show. I mean, Snoop, Dr. Dre, I mean, all, you know, everybody was there. I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. We got just a few more minutes. Stan, your music has reached all corners of the globe. That says a lot.
Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy. I started off in a garage on a karaoke machine with tape cassettes.
Uh-huh.
And to now know that, you know, my music is in Africa and Australia and Switzerland and Canada and Mexico and all over the reses and Indian country here in America. And it's just amazing, man, that it's finally coming. My words are finally going to be heard, you know, and that's kind of, you know, shout out again to like Sterling Harjo and Tyka to give us this space where indigenous people can have a voice, and that we can tell our stories from our perspectives, and just raise the respect, you know, and raise it up high, and start to give these indigenous youths hope and energy and all the positive things that we can give them by giving these platforms, and to see themselves, you know, succeeding, man.
Right.
You know, it's awesome. You know what I mean?
You got a great attitude, sir. A great attitude. Where can people hear your music or book a tattoo appointment?
I do have tattoomusic.com. That's TATTOOMUZIK .com. Also, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on TikTok. I'm all over all major music platforms. You just got to type my name in the search bar, and I have music, and also Sten Joddi at gmail.com if you're, if you just want to get a hold of me. And that goes for tattoos, that goes for music, that goes for acting, that goes for anything. I don't have an agent. I'm new at this, so it's me. You'll be talking to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a blessing to even be on this show. I appreciate it, man, to giving me this little space to use my voice, man. It's appreciated 100%.
We'd like to have you come back again next time. We hope we don't have a power failure. That's the first time we've ever had a power failure right in the middle of the show. It's the first time. Wow.
Oh yeah, man. They try to get us, man. They know we're about to talk about some real stuff. So
Stan, well, thank you so much for being our guest. We have to bring you a lot more to say, sir. Continued success in what you've done and what you're doing. That's all we can say.
Thank you. Blessings.
Good care. Blessings. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Acting Training School and Actors Space. And much thanks to our guest today, actor, director, producer, Bill Duke, actor and performance artist, John Fleck, and actor and most prolific native hip-hop artist, Sten Joddi. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience, and thank that engineer, Tony. He caught me, he saved me today. Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. Be well, and we'll see you the next time.